Hello everyone, welcome to PLD Disc Golf and the post-production coverage of the Greater Peoria Open. In this video, we have the Round 1 Front 9 at McNaughton Park in Pekin, Illinois. My name is Payton Drake, and I'll be commentating on the coverage for the weekend. So here at McNaughton Park, it's a lesser-known course of all the parks in the Peoria area, but a must-shoot if you're in the area. For the first round here, we have a feature card with 5 people. We had to do a weird consolidation because of the sheer amount of players we had registered for the event, and we had 2 separate courses feeding into one for the first round. So with that, we'll go to T1, and I'll let the players introduce themselves. Yeah, here at McNaughton, it was kind of a steamy morning. We are shooting at around 75 to 80 degree weather with maximum humidity.
Andrew Choragwicki, PDJ 150066, sponsored by Shop Ledgestone.
This solo, so I haven't seen anyone with me throw any.
Name's Gary Patton, PDJ number 49643, sponsored by Plastic Addicts, Paragon, and MVP Disc Sports. Trees, end up somewhere okay. Yep.
Brian Koch, PDJ 98608, sponsored by Milwaukee Tools. Oh, come on. Rich Klein, 40067, Skydrop Energy. Get over, baby.
Wow. Hey, I'm Stad, PDGA 90085, sponsored by MVP Disc Sports.
Alright, those were all pretty decent tee shots. Coming in at a 444-foot par 3. I mean, this hole, it'd be nice to get a birdie to start your round off, but getting a par here is not a problem. As we see a couple pitch-ups from Brian and then from Gary. Rich looking to do the same thing. He lays it up a little bit short. Andrew looking to step up here. All right.
Nice putt.
Great putt from Rich for his par. We got Chance stepping up for his birdie putt. Great putt from Chance. It's a good confidence booster to get your round going. He'll card the only birdie here. We see the rest of the card clean up their pars. Now, I will mention once again, it's pretty hot and humid this morning. The humidity is really just settled down. There's not much wind, so conditions are good for, getting a disc to get from A to B, but your grip can definitely be an issue, especially on the putting green. So here we are at hole 2, a 306-foot par 3. Very downhill as we see Chance pull one off to the right. These throws just need to elevate her down about 25 feet of elevation to get to the basket. So this is a it's not a long throw by any means. You got to really calculate how the disc will just glide and then fade out to the basket. Being a blind shot, it's also pretty nervy, even being just the second hole. Most people are looking to birdie as Andrew puts his a little high and fading off pretty early. That's just going to be a jump putt approach. As Gary, the local pro, needs to go and remind himself where the basket is. Looks to be kind of right at the basket, might fade off a little left. Yeah, so we see that entering the brush. Oh, and getting a nice kick out. I think that might be circle's edge. He's about 5 feet above the basket, so he should have a light and easy putt to get his bird. Ooh. And Brian giving this one a pump. All right. On this course, there are alternate B pin locations, and the B pin is actually in the area where Brian just put his drive, so he might have parked the B position as Rich puts his a little low, but that's a good line. All of these guys are going to be out of the circle to try to put up for their birdies. Yeah, Andrew just trying to get one close, puts that a little left, and he'll have a little bit of a tester for his par. Oh, great line from Rich. On downhill putts too, it's a little bit more technical than to putt it an uphill, because you just really have to account for how the disc will fade and then keep pushing. It's a different flight path than if you're putting uphill, and so it can lead to some really nervy putts if you're standing above the basket and putting down at it. So Gary lining up the last birdie opportunity. And he gets it. Interesting looking at the hole stats. Holes 1 and 2 are averaging pretty much right at par, 2.95 and 2.97 respectively. I'm surprised not to see those a little bit lower. This is the advanced division, so our players should be able to know what to expect from these kinds of shots. So surprised to see it as high as it is, but anyway, they're making up for it here on the card. Just carding a bunch of pars. All right. And on to hole 3. This one's very interesting. 351-foot par 3. It's a very left to right shot. It bends right in the middle and goes about 10 feet uphill and 45 degrees to the right. Yeah, so Gary puts that one right in the gap, overturns it a little bit. It doesn't have a chance to pan out, and it just falls right in the middle of the fairway. So common play here, at least from this tee pad, is to just get something right to the bend at about 250 feet. Chance puts that one a little on the inside. He'll have to do some scrambling to get up to the pin from there. But yeah, forehand's the play if you want to just card the par. Backhand is the right shot shape, backhand Annie turnover. I love Andrew's forehand. Gets a lot of power and snap on it. However, he does pull that one to the left a little bit. Just hits the brush, but he should be sitting in the open. Should have a clean look at the pin from where he's at. Yeah, I think that was a little too inside. If you're clipping the branches of the first clumping of trees right off the tee, you're too inside. Yeah, this is a line to get in through the gap. I think he's around the corner, and we'll have a jump putt approach. Andrew here. Puts that up. Yep, that should be short of the pin a little bit, but definitely a look at par.
Oh, yeah.
Chance being early right, tries to do the backhand turnover and just punches it straight into the rough on the back side of the bend. And he's in the thick of it. Let's see if he can get out.
Oh. Come on, baby.
Hits one of the first branches on the ground in front of him, and it manages to keep pushing down the hillside, but you'll see what I mean by the altitude difference. Got to get a disc really pushing up high to get there, and Brian kind of let that slip out of his hand. I think that's that humidity coming into play. It's getting sticky, and the players are starting to heat up. Oh. It was good up from Gary. I'm sure he wanted to give that a little bit more height to give it a chance, but should be a very easy par. Chance really needing to get this in to stop the bleeding. Is obstructed. Good height, but just to the right. He's going to put that in for his double, I believe. Oh, good line from Rich. You know, as we watch these local and regional amateurs play, I like to point out some of the unique forms and just gameplays that each of our players have. And I mean, really all of our players here on the card are run-of-the-mill. They do a good job, very consistent, have a good reliable form. And just pointing out right there, Rich Klein reminds me a lot of Steve Brinster. He's a professional. I believe he's in the MA40 category. Don't butcher me if I got that wrong. But we've seen him on some of the professional coverage in years past. He's a pretty good disc golfer, just has a unique putting form. But anyway, all of our players cleaning up after themselves. So we move to hole 4. It's a 360-foot par 3. Once again, a really downhill shot, about 20 feet of elevation change. You're wanting to punch something straight through this gap that Gary's hitting with a stable disc that just starts fading at the very end. He gets a pretty good ground play, and he's about 20 feet short of the pin. But most of these guys may be electing for an overstable mid-range or even an overstable fairway driver. Fairway driver gets a little bit more ground play. And a superb line from Brian here.
Really skip. Did it skip?
Yeah, he and Gary are in very similar positions there with looks at birdies. As we wait for the next tee, Andrew taking his shot. Hole 3, Chris Relaford, the only birdie on hole 3 on the day. Good on him. Local shout out for you, buddy. Oh, Andrew pulls it up.
Oh, shit.
Oh.
Get back out of there.
Rich doing something similar. He pulls his to the right.
Edit that shit out of there, right?
Sorry, Rich, I can't edit that out for you. I like to be as thorough as I can be. All right. That's another good line from Chance. With a little extra hyzer out of the hand, he's almost guaranteed some ground play. It does hyzer out a little bit left of the basket, but he should be up there with a jump putt chance at a birdie. And Andrew having to scramble his way down to the basket. He nicks that tree. Yeah, and if you're in the rough on the right-hand side, too, it's a lot of work. Oh, to get to the pin, but put my foot in my mouth as Rich puts that on the pin. Andrew's going to be looking to give this a honorable run, get it high enough. Yeah, that was a good run, just a little right. Strong putt, just couldn't convert on the birdie. Yeah, and here's the bus driver putt from Rich. That's what people call Steve Brinster's putt, but I wouldn't say it's identical, but got some similarities.
Dang it, Gary.
Enough said. Brian, the last look at birdie here for the card. Good putt.
Yeah.
Andrew carding an unfortunate bogey. Sometimes when you're at this position in the round, you just gotta close your eyes, reset yourself, think that you're on the tee of hole 1, and just play a new round in your mind. Upside down tap in from Chance, and we will move on to hole 5. A 303-foot par 3, pretty standard shot. The ground slopes from right to left, and the basket does happen to fall on the left-hand side of the gap you want to hit. Brian throws a perfect shot in the bullseye. It's exactly how you want to play it. These guys are probably throwing some mid-ranges with a little bit of air, kind of some straight, stable ones that will just fall to the ground and let the ground kind of carry it to the left.
Oh, what a kick.
Oh yeah, a little kick off the tree. Puts him close. Forehand turnover, a little less conventional, but gives you confidence to hit the gap.
You roll stuff.
Yeah.
It's too obvious to throw that back in. You didn't throw like a chucker.
Good backhand here from Chance. Oh, it is a little wide and catches some brush. He fades out. He'll be at circle 2 short. He'll have to do some kind of straddle putt to get at it. All right, Andrew here looking to bounce back after a bogey.
Split him.
Pulls it right and hits a tree. Does kick him down in the middle of the fairway, but he's just going to have a short approach. That one leaves his hand a little early, and he'll be, yeah, straddling circle 2. Oh, 50 feet. Just puts it up and gets it close. All right, first of our bird at Elix here. Yeah, I feel like maybe caught a finger. That happens to me on occasion, and sometimes you just gotta let that happen and move on from it. Great solid putt from Rich.
Because I lost that one.
Great cleanup from Gary. A little bit closer than I thought.
Started driving me nuts. I smashed my hand up on one pretty good last year. I was holding him halfway and he slipped out. And I tried to catch him before he slipped through.
I felt bad about like killing a fish, but technically,
Well, those are invasive. You're not even supposed to let them back in. With the gar, right?
Yeah.
I know on the segment it's that way.
Got
it's that way. You're right.
Rich and Gary talking fishing. Gary's an avid fisher. If you check out his channel and his vlogs, he likes to talk about fishing a lot. And they're probably still talking about fishing here on hole 6. A 282-foot par 3. Quite a challenging gap to hit. It's about 10 to 15 feet wide, 200 feet off the gap, and the basket is a little bit uphill with respect to the pin, but the dip about halfway through the fairway does play a little bit of tricks on the player as far as distance is concerned. But
Oh crap! I smushed that. That's going a million.
oh yeah,
Oh.
Gary does get a hold of it, but it catches a tree and it
Going
puts
like
him
7 steep pad.
probably just outside of circle 2.
3 something.
Yeah, and they're talking distances there. I think that this says it's 282, but distance-wise it probably plays more like 320, as Rich clears everything, but he puts that into hole 7's fairway close to the water.
You three already went, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
That'll be an interesting comebacker on that.
It finishes left, right? The pin?
It's off your left shoulder pretty much right now, like straight off your left shoulder. It's not super far left, but
Word to all the traveling
But it's left of the
amateurs
camera?
playing these courses blind. Good on you. I've played a handful of tournaments myself with those people, and if you score really well playing blind, I really admire you for that. It's kind of a different mindset that you got to play with, and yeah, just Chance did. He shrugs it off, and I think he puts that one a little too high. If he gets that down, it probably fits the hole pretty well. But anyway, he'll be scrambling for his par. Get off that tree. Yeah. Okay, he hits the gap. Andrew hits the gap, but his the ESP Flex Raptor, I believe that's what that is, fades off a little early, and he'll have a circle 2 putt. Oh, Chance. Not sure where that went. We'll see in a little bit. And that was Rich pitching up close. Gary, jump putt. Oh, wow. Left corner pocket. It goes in. That's a confidence booster for the round. Okay, so Chance didn't really get out of the woods on the left. He does a forehand pitch out to the other side of the basket. Oof. Good line, just high. Oh, great standstill straddle from circle 2.
Sorry, I forgot about you, dude. There's a parade of us.
Great bird, Andrew. All right, keep that going. Chance trying to stop the bleeding once again, and he does. And a good putt from Rich for his par. It's a good par. Having to scramble from a really unique position. I don't think many people practice a shot that's too far right off the tee and pitching it up. So, all right, this card cleans up, and we move on to hole 7.
Walking to the tee pad, they're like in the sight line. All right, there we go.
A 396-foot par 3. Basket's a little bit lower than the tee pad
That's not it.
elevation-wise, but this crest of the hill that we're looking at
Way, but like,
plays some mind tricks, and Gary puts that right, hits a tree, goes right in the middle of the fairway. That should be an easy 3 for him. A great play, if you have it, is this flex forehand.
Deuce. That's what I was thinking.
No, it's you. You too, right?
Yeah.
oh, you too?
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
That's all right.
you were soft.
Well, yeah.
And just so you guys know, I appreciate having a little bit of the tee talk included in these videos. I think it kind of puts you in the same space as the players. And Andrew carding the second birdie on the last hole puts, I believe that's his Raptor again, a nice straight shot. You know, getting 350 off the tee and letting something tail off to the left on the very end of the shot. It's a great play for this hole. This is a pretty tough hole to birdie. It's either this flex forehand that Rich is lining up or kind of a flip up hyzer backhand for a righty that'll get you part. And it looks like Rich doesn't get this turned over enough. Or I lied. He turns it over enough, but it's got enough air it actually kind of pushes.
You want to push into that stuff?
You want your forehand
Straight.
to be like disappear and then fade out.
Finish all the way back.
Okay.
Yeah, Gary's giving a play call there. Sometimes I just don't want to talk because I want these players to talk for me. Yeah, that's a common miss. Chance puts a stable disc on hyzer and it skips over to the left, close to the water. He should be able to pitch up for his par though, and
Push.
Brian putting a forehand up there. He gets to just outside a circle, I believe, on the right-hand side of the pin. Downhill putt for his par. Oh, wow. Yeah, that was definitely a birdie run from Andrew. We'll take a look at Chance over by the water. As you probably saw in the intro too, it is covered with a nice layer of scum. So you put a disc in the water, I'm sorry, you're not getting it back. And a good run from Chance down there. Gary, a good look for a birdie.
Did you run?
Oh. It's a good line. I think it just went right under the basket.
Outside.
Yeah.
Great putt from Rich.
Play the back one, guys.
Oh, and that was his bird. Okay. I'd forgotten.
Yeah, Brian.
Alright, so I think we're now into the par territory. Looking at hole 7 for the day, averaged a 3.22, so just over par. This is I think most people are probably playing this for the par. Those who are close enough, giving themselves a chance for a birdie, will try to convert, such as Gary and Rich, but we only have 2 birdies on the day. First is from Rich, and the second is from Tad Carlson. So, good job, Tad, for carding the second birdie. And a solid putt from Andrew to clean up a par, and the other guys will follow suit. So, yeah, hole 7 was the 3rd most difficult hole on the day. So that should show that a lot of people are scoring under par on average for the course. Hole 8, a 399-foot par 4.
Yeah, I just didn't want to smoke
Wait,
them.
no, Andrew.
This one is actually the easiest hole on the day. It's averaging a 3.05, so a lot of players being able to get the 3 here, but I'll get into specifics as we get closer to the basket. But forehand from Rich. He hangs that out to the left too much. Oh, that forehand was looking good from Andrew. It just catches one of the few branches you need to miss in the ceiling of the gap. Hitting this gap is not too difficult. It's getting the shot that fits this gap. Forehand's a consistent way for you to get down to the base of the hill at which the basket is sitting on. But the backhand,
Can you put that higher, dang it?
yeah, it does fit the shot shape better, and Gary needed to get a little bit more air on that. The basket is, there's a lot of elevation change out here at McNaughton Park, and the basket's about 15 feet above the tee pad. But it goes downhill and then comes back uphill, so a placement shot from Brian will put him in the middle. We'll just have an up shot and a 3 from there. Nice turnover from Chance. Oh, just a little too overstable. It fades out.
I thought the wind was going to hold it.
That's his reasoning there. Yes, I'll say again, there is not much wind today. So planning for any wind is probably a fault in your thought process, but I won't blame you, Chance. Andrew, a forehand, gets him short of the basket. I will say, with this coming in as a par 4, it's definitely a must birdie.
That's why I stay in decent shape for you to recognize you.
Yeah.
Do it.
Get it.
Oh my gosh. Great run for the eagle from Gary.
Close.
Just one more weedy and that would have gotten into the chains.
I thought that was so much closer.
Just a layup from Rich there. All right, Andrew looking to get the birdie. Oh, just left. Good bird from Brian. Yeah, another one of those downhill putts can be a little nervy, but he just puts it straight into the chains and the bottom of the basket. And a couple of these guys will tap out. So I think it's safe to say these guys played the hole pretty well. So once again, coming in at a 399-foot par 4, there is the opportunity for eagles, and we have 2 of them on the day, and one is from Nick Relaford, and another is Ryan Stilson. You may have already heard the name Relaford in that his brother Chris Relaford had a highlight birdie earlier in the round. So good on the Relafords. You guys are solid players. So we move on to hole 9. This is a run-of-the-mill hyzer. Not as much elevation change, but this angled ground from right to left definitely makes this hyzer play a little bit more difficult, because as the disc fades, you might go a little too far left. So giving it some height and letting the disc, a straighter disc, just kind of tail off at the very end is the way to play it. And just replay that throw from Gary. That's the way you want to play it. So we got 2 discs that are in the circle for bird. Can we do a 3rd, 4th, and 5th? That's another good line. There's another one. I think that's 3 confident birdies right there. Right. Can we do Chance and Andrew? We need you guys to give us a star frame. Looks like Chance put this one really high. But with the stability it carries back, and yeah, that's almost parked. It's all on you, Andrew. I'm sure Andrew feels the pressure right now. Just a little mental thing when you're there on the tee. Oh, decent. Just a little inside.
That's good.
I think it rolled out to the front of the rough. Actually, no. He's got an obstructed putt. That's an approach. Yeah, so I'll have 4 birdies and what looks to be a par. Yeah, this hole also playing pretty easy on the day. It's a 2.62 average. Definitely an aceable hole, so can't guarantee yourself to see an ace on every tournament day, but no shout-outs there. Good tap out from Andrew. And that is the front 9 of round 1 of the Greater Peoria Open. We got Andrew at +2, Gary at -5, -4s for Brian and Rich, and then even for Chance. I'm saying the -4, -5 is a good score for the front 9. Back 9 is stocked with a lot of par 4s that better be birdied, so looking to see a lot more scoring from this card and other cards on the day. So thanks for joining us here for the front 9, and hope to see you on the back 9.